Hello everyone, welcome to Kumar Academy. I hope you all are fit and fine at your home. So as you all know, in our previous video we have talked about the basic concept of chapter motion, that is chapter number 8 from Science NCERT. Okay, so in today's video we are going to deal some more concept of the same chapter, that means from motion only. So without any further delay, let's get started. So as you all know, in our physics we deal with the many quantities, like we deal with length, time, temperature, area, volume, many quantities we deal with. So we can classify these quantities into two groups. Okay, so the first classification we are going to study is scalar quantities, right? So what are scalar quantities? The quantities which need only magnitude but no direction for their complete description are called scalar quantities. Okay, like for example we have written some scalar quantities on the board: length, time, temperature, area, etc. Now how can we consider length, time, temperature as a scalar quantities? I am trying to explain you with example. For example, if somebody is asking you about the length of the pen, this is your marker. If somebody is asking about the length of this pen, okay, so what you will inform? You will inform the length of the pen will be 10 centimeter. You will not give the idea that it is in the north direction, it is in the south direction. Only you will tell the magnitude of this quantity. Okay, magnitude of the length, not the direction. So that's why the length is considered to be a scalar quantity. Again, we can take the example of time as well. Like if your friend is asking you about the time, for example, what's the time like by your watch, then what you will inform? You will simply inform the time is 5 o'clock, either it is 6 o'clock. You will not inform him that time is 5 o'clock towards north. It is insignificant. Okay, this statement is invalid. So in those all the quantities which need only magnitude and they don't need any kind of direction for their complete description, they are called as scalar quantities. So now we are going to discuss the characteristics of the scalar quantity. So first characteristics is like representation of the scalar quantities. That means how can we represent the scalar quantities? Very simple. The scalar quantity can be represented by its magnitude only and with the proper unit. Okay. So if you know the magnitude and if you know the unit, then scalar quantities are simply expressed as much like we have expressed the length of the whiteboard is 1.5 meter. Okay, so the length I have told you, it is a scalar quantity. So this is the magnitude 1.5 meter. Why I have written the numerical value? Okay, the numerical value of the quantity is called as magnitude, and the unit, this is written like meter. Meter is the unit. So what is unit? Unit gives you the idea for the identification of quantity. You can identify the quantity with the help of unit. Like if I am asking you the area of the room is 2 meter square. Okay, so meter square is what? Meter square is the unit. If you are not writing the unit, that means it will not a quantity, it will simply becomes a number. I hope so the idea is clear. So let's recall the scalar quantities once again. Scalar quantities क्या होती हैं? ऐसी quantities जिनको एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए आपको केवल मैग्नीट्यूड की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, केवल न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, उनमें किसी डायरेक्शन की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होती. उन क्वांटिटीज़ को हम क्या बोलते हैं? स्कालर क्वांटिटीज़ बोलते हैं. एग्जांपल्स कौन कौन से आएंगे? लेंथ हो सकता है, टाइम हो सकता है, टेम्परेचर हो सकता है, एरिया हो सकता है. तो ऐसे जितनी भी क्वांटिटीज़ होंगी जिनमें डायरेक्शन की कोई नीड नहीं होती है, उनको हम बोलते हैं स्कालर क्वांटिटीज़. क्लियर? अभी हमने क्या किया? कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स भी डिस्कस करिए. फर्स्ट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या है? रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ स्कालर क्वांटिटीज़, मतलब इनको रिप्रेजेंट कैसे करेंगे. अगर आपको स्कालर क्वांटिटी दे दी जाए तो आप इनको रिप्रेजेंट कैसे करोगे? तो बहुत सिंपल. स्कालर क्वांटिटी के लिए आपको क्या चाहिए? मैग्नीट्यूड चाहिए. साथ साथ में आपको क्या चाहिए? उसकी यूनिट चाहिए. जैसे मैंने यहाँ पर लेंथ लिखा है ना व्हाइट बोर्ड की 1.5 मीटर, तो मैंने यहाँ पर मैग्नीट्यूड लिखा है लेंथ का 1.5 मीटर और इसकी यूनिट लिखी है मीटर. तो अगर आपको यूनिट पता है, मैग्नीट्यूड पता है, दैट इज ऑल अबाउट स्कालर क्वांटिटी. आप उसको रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. ओके, नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू डील विद द सेकंड कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ स्कालर क्वांटिटी. जस्ट वेट. ओके, so second characteristics will be the addition or subtraction of scalar quantity, right? Addition or subtraction of scalar quantities. Very simple. Okay, scalar quantities. That means how can we add scalar quantities and how can we subtract scalar quantities. Very simple, this is very simple concept. If I am writing on the board, if two scalar quantities have same units, okay, then they can be added or subtracted. They can be added or subtracted by the ordinary rule of arithmetic. Okay, so for example, there are two quantities which have same units. That means first quantity is also having the meter unit, and there is another quantity that is also having the meter unit. Then how can you add? You can add directly, like the numbers are added in the mathematics. 2 plus 2 makes 4. So in similar way you can add. Let's understand this addition and subtraction with the help of example. Just wait. Okay, so let's take an example that will be more easier to make you understand this addition and subtraction concept of scalar quantities. For example, if we are adding 1 kg of sand, okay, into 3 kg of cement, then the total mass of the mixture will be how much? Okay, as I have told you, both are having same unit, like the mass of sand is also having the same kilogram unit, and mass of cement is also having the same unit, that is kilogram. So how can we add them? Just like a number. So that is 1 kg and plus 3 kg. So what will be the total mass? That means 4 kg. I hope so. This is clear. How can we add scalar quantities, right? So if these are having if two quantities you are having and both are having same quantities, then you can directly add according to the simple rules of arithmetic. Okay, so next concept we are going to discuss, that is vector quantities. Okay, so I hope this is clear. एक बार और रिकॉल कर देता हूँ पहले, उसके बाद वेक्टर्स में मूव करेंगे. इसमें क्या है, एडिशन कैसे करते हैं क्वांटिटीज़ को, बहुत सिंपल है. अगर दो क्वांटिटीज़ हैं आपके पास, दोनों की यूनिट भी सेम है, ठीक है, लाइक लेंथ है दोनों मीटर में होंगे फिर, या फिर दोनों सेंटीमीटर्स में होंगी. अगर दोनों की यूनिट सेम नहीं है तो आप उनको ऐड नहीं कर सकते. आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, पहले यूनिट सेम करनी पड़ेगी, तभी आप उनको ऐड कर सकते हो. ठीक है, तो एडिशन के लिए यूनिट क्या होनी चाहिए, सेम होनी चाहिए. आप मीटर को सेंटीमीटर में ऐड नहीं कर सकते, आप किलोग्राम्स को ग्राम में ऐड नहीं कर सकते. इसलिए क्या होना चाहिए, फर्स्ट हमने क्या किया है, अगर आपको ऐड करना है तो यूनिट सेम होनी चाहिए. डायरेक्टली आप उनको जैसे नंबर से ऐड करते हैं ना, वैसे ही आप उनको ऐड कर सकते हो. सो हमने क्या किया, यहाँ पे एक सैंड 1 kg सैंड हमने मिक्स किया है 3 kg ऑफ सीमेंट में. तो दोनों सेम है यूनिट, दोनों के मासेस की यूनिट सेम है, तो आप उनको डायरेक्टली ऐड कर सकते हो. इसलिए टोटल मिक्सचर का मास कितना हो गया, 4 kg हो गया. आई होप सो आइडिया इज क्लियर. सो लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट, दैट इज वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज. Okay, the vector quantities are very interesting and these will be helpful for you in the 9th standard as well. These are the very useful concept, scalar and vector. In many books, however, the concept is given, so you can understand from the book also, and we are providing you lots of video for that. So first is vector quantities. Vector quantities. और मैंने आपको बोला था आपको क्या करना है, साथ साथ में नोट्स बनाते चलने हैं, या फिर स्क्रीनशॉट लेंगे तो बहुत लेंदी प्रोसेस हो जाता है, तो आप साथ साथ में नोट्स बनाते चलेंगे। जैसे मैं बोर्ड पे लिखूंगा तो अपनी कॉपीज में नोट्स बनाते चलेंगे, दैट विल बी मोर ईजियर वे टू लर्न। ओके, सो द क्वांटिटीज, ओके, द क्वांटिटीज which need both magnitude and direction, both magnitude and direction for their complete description, for their complete description, complete description, okay, are called vector quantities, are called vector quantities, okay, are called vector quantities. For example, we are taking some examples over here, like you can say displacement, force, velocity, okay, and acceleration, you can say acceleration, etc. So these are the examples of the vector quantities. So now I am going to recall the definition once again. The quantities which need which need both magnitude and direction for their complete description, they are called as vector quantities. Okay, so we have taken some example over here, like displacement we have taken, force we have taken, velocity we have taken, acceleration we have taken. So how can we consider these quantities as vector? Why we are considering them as a vector? For example, if we are applying a force on any object, okay, for example this is a marker, and if you want to apply the force on it, then you will apply from this side, either from this side. So for example, I am pushing this marker with the 2 Newton force, then what you will understand from this activity, that force will also need a direction. Okay, for example, we are just pushing this block, this is a block over here. If we are pushing this block, then we must be having the clear idea that this block is pushed by the force of 5 Newton towards south. If you are not giving the idea of the direction, then the observer or the person will not be able to understand your concept, that what is force. Then he can ask you in which direction you are applying the force. So that means vector quantity need both magnitude as well as they need direction for their complete description. Okay, so क्या होता है vector quantities, एक बार और देख लेते हैं। ऐसी quantities जिनको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए या जिनको डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए आपको मैग्नीट्यूड भी चाहिए, साथ साथ में आपको डायरेक्शन भी चाहिए, ऐसी क्वांटिटीज़ को हम क्या बोलते हैं, वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज़। बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स लिए हैं मैंने यहाँ पे, डिस्प्लेसमेंट लिया है, फोर्स लिया है, वेलोसिटी लिया है, एक्सेलरेशन लिया है। तो मैंने क्या किया है, मैंने आपको एक ब्लॉक रिप्रेजेंट किया है, तो उस पर ब्लॉक पे हम कितना फोर्स लगा रहे हैं, 5 न्यूटन, और किधर लगा रहे हैं, टुवर्ड्स साउथ। आपको डायरेक्शन भी बताना पड़ेगा कि हम साउथ डायरेक्शन में फोर्स लगा रहे हैं या नॉर्थ डायरेक्शन में लगा रहे हैं या ईस्ट वेस्ट डायरेक्शन में लगा रहे हैं। तो आपको साथ साथ में डायरेक्शन भी बतानी पड़ेगी और मैग्नीट्यूड भी बताना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज। आई होप सो यू कैन मेक द पैरेलल नोट्स, आइदर यू कैन टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट। आप स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए या फिर आप क्या कर सकते हैं, पैरेलल नोट्स बना सकते हैं मेरे साथ साथ में। होप सो स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया होगा आपने। अब चलते हैं नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज। शुड आई रेज दिस वन? ओके, so next concept will be characteristics of vector quantities. However, in the books they have given you that only definition, they are not giving you the characteristics, so that's why I am explaining you in very simple and lucid language. So it will be characteristics of vector quantities. Just wait, let me write, and you can also make a note in your notebook, that will be more easier. Okay, so characteristics of vector quantities. So first characteristics, again the same thing, we are going to discuss representation. As we have done in the case of scalar, so we are doing the same thing with those of vector. How can we represent the vectors? So very simple, okay. The vector quantities can be represented by magnitude, unit and direction. Okay. So what is the main difference between the scalar and vector? It is only of the direction. These vectors need direction and the scalar do not need any kind of direction in them. So direction, for example, we are taking here, okay, do write the same things in your copy, that will be more easier way to learn. Example, like the velocity of the car is okay 45 km/h towards south. So as you know, velocity is vector quantity. So how many things we need to represent it? We need three parameters. First we need the magnitude, second we need its unit, and third we need the direction. So this is the numerical value. What does it represent? It represents the magnitude. Okay, it represents the magnitude. And what does this represent? This is simple unit, as I have told you in the case of scalar also. And what is this means? This is the direction. This represents the direction. So is it clear? How can we represent a vector quantity? Vector quantity can be represented by knowing three parameters. First one is we must be knowing about the magnitude of the quantity, then we must be knowing about the unit of the quantity, then we must be knowing about the direction of the quantity. I hope so this is clear. Please take a screenshot of it so that we can move on the next topic. Okay, second characteristics will be just wait, addition and subtraction of the vector, as we have discussed in the case of scalar also. So right now this will be addition or subtraction. Just wait, let me write it very clearly so that it is visible to you. Addition and subtraction of vectors. Addition and subtraction of vectors. So how can we add and how can we subtract the vectors? That will be very easy. Like if two vector quantities have same units, but different direction. Just wait, but different direction, then they cannot be added according to the ordinary rules of the arithmetic. Okay, so how can we add them? We need some special rules to add or subtract them. Subtract them. Okay. So how can we add or subtract the scalar quantities, sorry, vector quantities? If two vector quantities have the same units but different direction, if they have the different direction, then we cannot add them directly. If they are having the same direction, then they are simply added by the ordinary rules of arithmetic. Okay, the direction should be same and the unit should also be same. Okay, so I am going to recall these things once again. कैसे ऐड कर सकते हैं स्केलर क्वांटिटीज़ को और वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज़ को? अगर उनकी यूनिट सेम है और डायरेक्शन सेम है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तो आप उनको डायरेक्टली ऐड कर सकते हो। मतलब जैसे आपका 2 न्यूटन फोर्स है साउथ में और 3 न्यूटन फोर्स है वो भी साउथ में है, तो दोनों की यूनिट सेम है, ठीक है, दोनों न्यूटन में है और दोनों साउथवर्ड जा रहे हैं, तो आप उनको डायरेक्टली ऐड कर सकते हो। बट ये स्पेशल केस है, अगर आपकी यूनिट सेम है बट उनकी डायरेक्शन डिफरेंट है तो आप उनको एज इट इज़ नहीं ऐड कर सकते। तो आपको स्पेशल रूल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट पड़ेगी, जो कि आप 11th क्लास में या 10th क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे। ठीक है, तो अभी आपके सिलेबस में एडिशन ऑफ वेक्टर्स नहीं है, तो इतना ही रखेंगे वेक्टर्स में, एंड प्लीज़ मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट। ओके, सो नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट वी आर गोइंग टू डील, दैट इज डिस्टेंस। आई होप सो दिस आइडिया इज क्लियर। जस्ट वेट, next concept will be distance, that is more easier. In the previous video we have not discussed about the distance and displacement, so in this video we are going to discuss about many new concepts, and I will upload a series of lecture of complete chapter of each and every chapter. Like motion, the complete chapter will be uploaded, in chemistry the complete chapter will be uploaded, in the mathematics complete chapter will be uploaded one by one. Okay, so first is, now we are going to define about the distance. Next concept is distance. So how can we define distance? Very simple. Okay, the definition is very simple. Write with me: the actual length, the actual length of the path, the actual length of the path covered by the object is called distance. Very simple definition is called its distance. Okay, so you can also add some points. It's a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Why it is a scalar quantity? Because it doesn't need any kind of direction to represent it. It is a scalar quantity. Let me write it again. It is a scalar quantity and its SI unit is meter. Okay, its SI unit is meter. So clear है डिस्टेंस क्या होता है? इट इज़ द एक्चुअल लेंथ ऑफ द पाथ कवर्ड बाय द ऑब्जेक्ट इज कॉल्ड इट्स डिस्टेंस। कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट है जितनी भी पाथ ट्रेवल करता है उसको हम डिस्टेंस बोलते हैं। अभी एक एग्जांपल लेंगे, दैट मीन्स आपको सारी चीज़ें क्लियर हो जाएंगी। डिफरेंस अब लिख लेते हैं, सॉरी, डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होता है? व्हाट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट? व्हाट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट? आई एम गोइंग टू टेक वन एग्जाम्पल दैट विल बी मोर ईजियर. ओके, इट इज द shortest distance between initial position and final position, between initial position and final position of the object in a particular direction, क्लियर? सो डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होता है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होता है? ऑब्जेक्ट की इनिशियल पोजीशन, जहाँ से मोशन स्टार्ट करते हैं उसको इनिशियल पोजीशन बोलते हैं, जहाँ पे फिनिश करते हैं उसको हम फाइनल पोजीशन बोलते हैं। उनके दोनों पॉइंट्स के बीच की शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस जो होगी उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? डिस्प्लेसमेंट। अब एग्जांपल लेंगे, बहुत जल्दी क्लियर हो जाएगा। So it is a, you can also add some point, it is a scalar, it is a vector quantity, it is a vector quantity, it is a vector quantity. Why it is a vector quantity? Because it has a direction, okay, because it is having a particular direction. So it's a vector quantity and its SI unit is also meter. Both are having same unit. So let's take an example now. So example, okay. So for example, our object is starting from this point. This is a A point and it is approaching towards B point, and it is approaching towards C point, and finally it is approached towards B point. This is A, this is B point, this is C point, and this is D point, and finally it is approached towards the point E. This is the final position, okay. So we have taken example over here, very simple. So the point where the journey started is called its initial position. What is so called? It's called initial position. It's called initial position. And the point where it is ended its journey is called as, you can say it's called as final. So should I take one thing? I am just trying to explain this example on the another page. That will be more easier. Okay. So is it clear? Distance क्या होता है? जो भी एक्चुअल लेंथ ऑफ द पाथ होती है ऑब्जेक्ट की, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? डिस्टेंस बोलते हैं, ठीक है। जैसे आप अपने घर से निकले और आप मार्केट गए, मार्केट से आप कहीं और गए, फिर आप कहीं दूसरे प्लेसेस पे चले गए, फिर शाम को आप घर आए, तो जितना भी आपने पाथ लेंथ ट्रेवल किया होगा उसको हम बोलेंगे डिस्टेंस। और जो भी शॉर्टकट होगा आपकी इनिशियल पोजीशन के बीच की और फाइनल पोजीशन के बीच की जो शॉर्टकट डिस्टेंस होगी वो होगा डिस्प्लेसमेंट। सो लेट्स रिकॉल दिस with the help of an example that will be more easier to you for understanding. Just wait. Okay, now so let's take an example. Actually the example was not clear on this page, that's it. So now for example, object starts from A and it is moved towards the point B, and it is moved then again towards point C, and then it is moved towards point D. Like this is the starting point, this is B, this is C, this is D, and this is E. Okay. So A point is the, I have told you, the point from where journey is started. That is called as initial position. Initial position. Okay. And this is the final position where the object has terminated its journey. This is the final position. And now the object started from A and it is moved towards the point B. And what is the distance? Distance is just, you can say 4 kilometers. Here the distance from B to C is what? 3 kilometers. Okay. Here the distance from C to D is just 2 kilometers. And here we have a distance from E to D is 3 kilometers. Okay. And the final distance is like, so what will be the distance? What will be the distance? Distance, I have told you, distance is nothing, it is the actual length of the path covered. Now let's look at an example carefully, everything will be clear in this example. So the object was started from point A, okay, this is the initial position, and it is moved towards point B, then it is just it has travelled from A to B 4 kilometer, and again from B to C it has travelled 3 kilometer, again in coming from C to D it has travelled 2 kilometer, again the object is approached towards the point E. So in this process it is also covered the 3 kilometer. So what will be the total distance? Let's take an example. Total path length, we can say total path length. Total path length. What will be the total path length? So AB, okay. So AB plus BC plus CD and plus DE. Okay, is it clear? AB is what? How much? 4 kilometers. BC is how much? 3 kilometers. Plus this is CD is how much? 2 kilometers. And this is how much? Your 3 kilometer. So what will be the total distance? Total distance will be 4 plus 3, 7, 2, 9, 3, 12 kilometers. This is your distance, total distance, the actual length of the path Okay, and now we have a shortcut. We have shortcut from A to E, that is of 4 kilometer. So what I have told you, now distance is represented by D, and this is displacement. We are talking about the displacement. Displacement will be, I have told you, the shortcut distance between its initial point and the final point. Okay, so initial position is what? This is, either you can say point, either you can say position, both are same. So don't get confused that why I am sometime I am pronouncing it sound, sometime pronouncing it point, sometime I am pronouncing it position, both are same. So this is the particular distance, shortcut distance in the particular direction. So this is the 4 kilometer will be the displacement. Is it clear? If you have any doubt then please. Okay, so again I am trying to explain. डिस्टेंस क्या होता है, मैंने आपको बताया था एक्चुअल लेंथ, कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट कितना ट्रेवल कर रहा है. आप जैसे यहाँ से ए से गए बी पॉइंट पे, बी से सी पॉइंट पे चले गए, फिर सी पॉइंट से डी पॉइंट पे चले गए, फिर डी पॉइंट से ई पॉइंट पे आ गए. तो टोटल लेंथ आपने कितनी ट्रेवल की? 4 किलोमीटर, 3 किलोमीटर, 2 किलोमीटर और 3 किलोमीटर. टोटल सबको पाथ लेंथ को ऐड कर देंगे, आपकी डिस्टेंस आ जाएगी. फिर मैंने आपको क्या बताया था, डिस्टेंस डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे निकालते हैं. डिस्प्लेसमेंट क्या होता है? शॉर्टेस्ट डिस्टेंस इनिशियल पोजीशन के बीच की और फाइनल पोजीशन के बीच. तो इनिशियल पोजीशन ए है, फाइनल पोजीशन ई है, तो इनके बीच की शॉर्टकट डिस्टेंस क्या होगी? 4 किलोमीटर. ये मैंने आपको मेंशन किया हुआ है. क्लियर है डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट? ठीक है. अब हम क्या करते हैं, नेक्स्ट कॉन्सेप्ट करते हैं, हमारा लास्ट कॉन्सेप्ट, दैट विल बी डिस्टेंस एंड डिस्प्लेसमेंट के बीच का डिफरेंस जो भी होता है. सो इसको कॉपी कर लीजिए या तो आप स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए. चलिए, okay, so the last concept will be very easy, difference between the distance and displacement. So difference I am writing over here, difference between, this is a shortcut way of writing, between distance and displacement okay. So very simple definition, very simple points of differences I will tell you. There is no need to mug up the points, try to create the differences by your own. Okay, so what we need to draw first, we need to draw a table first. Okay, we are going to draw a table. Always write the difference. If you are in the 9th standard, either in the 10th standard, always try to write the difference in the tabular form. That will be more beneficial for you. जितना ज़्यादा टेबल फॉर्म में लिखेंगे उतना ज़्यादा आपको बेनिफिशियल होगा. ये आपका डिस्टेंस हो गया, ये हो गया आपका डिस्प्लेसमेंट. ओके. सो फर्स्ट पॉइंट मैंने आपको बताया था क्या होता है, वेरी सिंपल, इट इज द एक्चुअल लेंथ. ऑलवेज द फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ द डिफरेंस विल बी इट्स डेफिनेशन. जब भी आप डिफरेंसेस को लिखेंगे तो उसकी डेफिनेशन में फर्स्ट पॉइंट मेंशन करेंगे. इट इज द एक्चुअल लेंथ ऑफ द पाथ कवर्ड बाय द ऑब्जेक्ट. पाथ कवर्ड बाय द ऑब्जेक्ट. सो इसमें क्या लिखेंगे, वेरी फर्स्ट पॉइंट, फर्स्ट डेफिनेशन, इट इज द shortest path between and please make a parallel notes, that will be more beneficial, between its shortest path between initial position and final position. Initial position and final position. So always write the definition as the first point. Okay. Second, I have told you, it's a distance is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Okay. It is a scalar quantity, and what can be the it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity, right? So third point of difference, it can never be 0. It can never be 0. Okay, and it can be the third point will be, it can be 0, it can be 0, positive and negative also. So there is a main point how the distance can never be 0, because whenever you are moving, you are performing a motion. Okay, you are moving from one place to another. Like you have started from your home, then you go on to the market, and then from marketplace you go on to the another office or any other, for any other work, then and you back to home. That means you have covered some path length. Okay, you have covered some distance. Distance can never be 0, and right now it can be 0. How it can be 0? For example, if an object is starting from his home, okay, and he is gone to his office in the morning time, then he gone to the marketplace again, and he approached to the somewhere in the movie cinema halls, okay, and finally he reached home at 9 p.m. in the night. So in that case the displacement will be 0. Why? Because the starting point was also home, and the finishing point, or you can say the final point, is also home. So in that case both points are coinciding each other. In that case it is a case of 0 displacement. कब होगा 0 displacement? जब जहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे वहीं पे आ जाएंगे. मोस्टली सर्कुलर मोशन के केस में भी 0 होता है. जैसे आपने जहाँ से स्टार्ट किया, एक राउंड कंप्लीट किया और फिर वहीं पे आके खड़े हो गए, तो आपका डिस्प्लेसमेंट 0 होगा. पर डिस्टेंस कभी 0 नहीं होगी, क्योंकि आप कुछ ना कुछ पाथ लेंथ ट्रेवल करोगे. कहीं भी आप गए हो तो आप कुछ ना कुछ डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल करोगे ही करोगे. ठीक है. लास्ट पॉइंट इज द फोर्थ पॉइंट. It is always greater, sorry, it can be, you can write it, it can be greater, it can be greater or equal to the displacement, equal to the displacement, equal to the displacement. Okay, and here we can write in the this fourth point, okay, it can be, just wait, it can be equal or less than the that of distance, less than that of distance. So this is, I hope so the difference is clear to you. Okay, so what is the fourth point means? It can be greater or equal to the displacement. How the distance can be equal to the displacement? For example, there is only one case. If the object is traveling in a straight line, for example, you are starting from here, okay, this is your starting point and this is your finishing point. So this is a straight line motion. In this case your distance will be also 1.5 meter and your displacement will be also 1.5 meter. So in this case only the distance and displacement can be equal. However, in most of the cases it is always greater than the displacement. Next is, it can be equal or less than. I have told you in which case displacement can be equal to distance. Only in the straight line motion. If an object is having a straight line motion, then displacement can be equal to distance. Otherwise it is always less than that of the distance, as you have seen in the example, that is the example we have taken. So in that case you have understood that displacement is always, mostly in the cases, displacement is less than that of displacement. So the 4 point I have written. So 4 point of the differences is sufficient. Either you can find more differences by yourself. That will be your task, that will be your assignment. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Okay, if you like the video, then please hit the like button. If you are new to our channel, then please subscribe to our channel, because we need your love and support. And please share this link as much as possible among your friends, because we need your love and support. So thank you for watching once again.